So I was having a conversation with a business owner the other day, and it really reminded me of when my son David was little. He was probably about 7 or 8, and he was jumping on the couch in the living room. And he's jumping and he's jumping and he's annoying me. And I'm like, David, you need to stop jumping on the couch. And so he stops and he looks at me and he says, or what? And it's not like a little kid being sassy going, or what? I mean, it was really him asking, what are going to be the consequences if I don't stop right this minute? You could see him processing. It was adorable, but as a parent, you can't kind of let him know you think that's cute. But so he was processing, what are the consequences going to be if I don't stop jumping on the couch? Because then, based on the consequences, he was going to decide whether or not he was going to continue to jump on the couch. So it's very, very similar to the conversation I have very frequently with business owners who are hiring independent contractors. And I tell them, if you're hiring independent contractors and they don't meet a particular test, then they are basically misclassified employees, and there can be very harsh consequences. And oftentimes the business owner stops and looks at me and says, or what? Like, what will happen to me if I misclassify someone as an independent contractor who's truly an employee? And the or what is that there are very harsh consequences, and they can come from many different directions. It can come from the IRS, it could come from the EDD, it could come from the person themselves suing you and claiming you called me an independent contractor, but I was really an employee, and then they're going to be suing you for wrongful termination or meal and rest breaks and different things like that. And the consequences of misclassification also include monetary fines that are substantial, as low as $5,000 per misclassified worker, up to $25,000 per misclassified worker, depending upon if it's willful or if there's some pattern of misclassification. For example, maybe you have many who are misclassified and it could be $25,000 per worker. So the consequences of misclassification are harsh and can be very expensive, and it is worthwhile to take the time to work through the relationship that you have with your workers to make sure that they're properly classified. So if you want to learn more about it or you want to just talk to me about it, give me a call.